The first movie that the first blashco.com movie I was involved with was Winston and Company. That was around Christmas time in 2005. And when Asher started, I'd seen quite a few movies that they'd made, the few that they had up already, and boy, I gotta tell you, when I came into Winston and Company, I was not prepared for that at all. It was definitely a very directionless and, if you will, immature kind of experiments, but I was almost, disgusted by the aspects of it, like, what was there? An anal birth, poisonous honeysuckles, references to King Kong that came out of nowhere, and, other such nonsense, and, it's just another way to kind of illustrate that this was, a different kind of, this was not your average, comedic video site, and that's what sets Blashco apart, and I was like, wow, this is pretty wild, and I like being in it.
Blashco?
Blashco.
Blashco.
Eu sei que é pedir demais, meu Deus.
Blashco?
Blashco. Em minha mente, eu quero
Blashco.
Eu quero começar de novo.
Blashco!
Não quero.
Blashco.
Estou 10 anos atrasado.
Blashco.
Estou 10 anos atrasado. Uso paletó e gravata. Eu uso
Blashco?
Estou 10 anos atrasado. Estou 10 anos atrasado.
Blashco.
Estou 10 anos atrasado. Estou 10 anos atrasado.
Blashco.
Being a male prostitute at age 12 is, it's not an easy life, But, Blashco, took me off the streets, nurtured me, made me the lone wolf that I am now. I guess you could say, I owe everything that I am to Blashco.
Blashco. That word has quite a zing to it, doesn't it? If you ask any of the kids that went to school with us, within 4 years, they'll know what you're talking about. There's a little group of kids who were always into making movies. It was quite a fun time. So Blashco started. When was it? 4th grade, 5th grade?
Something like that.
We were really into video games at the time, and we would make fake video game magazines, and we each had our own companies. Mine was Ashco, and Blake's was Blakeco, and Blake created the classic game Kill Your Friends, and then I was like, you know what, let's make a sequel.
Kill Your Friends too?
I think it's called Eat Your Friends.
Eat Your Friends.
Eat Your Friends, yeah, I'm pretty sure. It was a joint effort. So we created our subsidiary company, which was entitled Blashco. B-L-A from Blake and A-S-H from Asher, and then Co. And that is the origin of Blashco.
So Blashco started out as stick figures killing each other, but then one day Asher got a camera, which would change the direction of Blashco completely.
Blake and Asher, the identical twins. We're identical twins. Yeah, we are, dude.
Our first movie that we made together, I'm pretty sure, was a spoof on Castaway. It was entitled Castaway, and
I thought The Mummy was first.
Day 1. I found myself stranded on a desert island. Well, maybe not desert, but it was an island.
It was basically us being stranded on an island, even though we weren't.
Week 2. After 2 weeks, I have changed tremendously.
I think probably our best movie though was Harry Potter. Just brilliant acting and great use of models and props.
Gotta look for clues. There's one now. that was not there before. It was here.
With the success of Harry Potter, you've thought that we'd have kept making great movies like that one. But that was about the time that Super Smash Bros. And Halo came out.
Lords and Tyrants stemmed, I guess, from my my love for most obviously is Lord of the Rings, I would say, and also a bit of Gladiator, and all those influences I think are really obvious in the movie. Perhaps maybe to a degree that some would say that it is a bit of plagiarism, which I can't deny exactly, and there's definitely some very overt aspects of that.
Well, I started in Blashco because of Sean Forrest and Freddy Productions. I was in Lords and Tyrants as Forgot the Demon Castrator.
You will die, Forgot the Demon Castrator, with your king!
The movie itself is a lot longer than I ever imagined one would be that we made. It was about an hour and 15 minutes. And it's about three assassins, or kind of royal assistants, to the public perception, I guess, of Taurus, that are sent to assassinate in any way they can the wicked king of the neighboring kingdom of Bravaxel.
Death to your king!
And the main movie is about their quest to do this, and
baby.
So, Lords and Tyrants, for the most part of the filming, the vast majority of it was not, Blashco was not involved, and I was not aware of Blashco until towards the end of it, when I knew Brett had a friend, Asher, who was very interested in making videos and stuff, and I think he expressed some interest in helping us out, and I needed all the help we could get, so I gladly accepted, and the first Blashco deserves full credit for the climax of the movie, in which Balthazar and Christophe Ordu have their sword fight. And that was how Blashco became involved in this movie. I mean, all the scenes before that were not really Blashco. And I think Asher has also said that was sort of the, I don't know necessarily inspiration, but I mean, that's kind of part of what made him want to start the site, right? Okay, so
I met Asher back in elementary school. I met Asher in junior high, and I didn't know that he looked like a goofy kid when I met him, but he's funny. He's really funny all the time. He's just cracking jokes every time I saw him. Like, he had a group of people surrounding him in junior high, just constantly. Just Blashco, Blashco, Blashco. It was after that we filmed Jurassic Park: The Ride.
Gatekeeper, go!
Which was nominated for 12 Academy Awards, so Titanic, I don't know if you've heard, but 12.
Hi, I'm Brett Forrest, and I've been a member of Blashco since my sophomore year of high school, starting with D-Day the Horror, made for Mr. Andrusic's class.
Death to the Nazis!
Well, I first started off with the lighter line of Blashco of a school project called D-Day. After that, I was kind of hooked.
That really kick-started the whole Blashco thing, I think. I mean, it's just a great movie, and we had a lot of fun with it.
Sophomore year of high school, actually, was the first time that we started making movies again. It was mainly due to a class, Modern World, and we made a D-Day movie, we made a Chernobyl movie.
Luckily, America's doing everything it can do in its power to help the Soviets. Bastards! Commies. The entire region surrounding Chernobyl has been plagued with radiation as of late due to the reactor leak. But I've been to Chernobyl. And I survived.
Like I had a history project with cocaine like drug lords.
Do you have the goods?
Yeah, do you have the money?
Yeah, but you have the goods?
Yeah, but do you got the money?
Yeah, but you have the goods?
Yeah, but do you have the money?
And me and Ryan Brooklyn Odins did that, and it was actually kind of funny because Asher killed off Ryan and started acting in our movie. It was good though. I mean,
Halo 2 and blashco happened around the same period in my life, so yeah, I didn't really go out much around that time. But when I did go out, I would go downstairs. I'd turn on my Xbox. I put on my headset, and I met this man named Blind Eye.
So we made a bunch of movies for this class, and at the time I was playing Halo a lot, and I was playing with these kids from Indiana.
He lives all the way out in Indiana, so he would always ask me to, send a movie, send the next movie.
And they basically talked me into making a website where we would just film all the time.
It was unreal at the time to have someone that far away actually appreciate something you just made for fun on the weekends with your friends, so. And we played a lot of Halo 2, killed some bitches. It was cool. It was a good time.
Okay, so I started with Freddy Productions, we made home movies, it was fun. And then we got into the blashco when because in Freddy Productions we had scripts written already, so we knew what we were doing. But blashco, every time you walk in the door, you're like, hey guys, what's up? They're just like, action. You're just like, oh, alright, let's get right into it. You don't know what you're going to do. It's just improv. I mean, it was so fun though, because it didn't matter what you did, because there was no script, so no one could tell you what to do, baby. It was tight, and I like to holler.
The creative process for blashco movies is quite an interesting one. We usually congregate here in Asher's house, and we just absorb the smell and everything in it.
When we start to make a movie, it's a very complicated process. Basically, we sit in Asher's room for an hour, playing video games or something.
Okay, at that point we start drafting, like, what do we want to film? Like, do we want to film like a whale falling out of the sky?
And then we usually just film. We maybe have an idea, usually not.
They're kind of sitting around, someone has a camera, and they say, maybe they'll look at an object in the room and be like, these sunglasses, our movie should be based around these. Like, maybe I'll wear them. I'll be like, and then that'll be a character,
or like a shoe bandit who care. Like, the ideas we had were terrible sometimes, but it's okay because we're in the drafting stage, and like everyone will tell each other like, dude, that's a really shitty idea. You shouldn't do that. A shoe bandit? Really?
Where the hell is my other shoe?
This stuff is not scripted, my friend.
We basically planned nothing before we started a movie. Take the CM2, for example. We knew we wanted to do a sequel to the CM because we really liked that one, and we knew we wanted a dance-off, but that's basically how far we got in our thought process before we started.
After that, it moves on to, we start filming, we start getting the costumes together, if we're gonna even need costumes.
They'll come up with a general idea, and they'll roll with it. It's all about rolling with things, I would say.
We just roll with it, and ad-libbing is probably the best form of filmmaking, I think. It's just funny. We usually just said action and then said something stupid, and blashco humor, it was funny, Right, Sarah?
Right. It's just really laid back, and we'll come, and when we film, we have no idea what we're going to do until the moment we do it, and so it's just real fun.
Blashco's film style was really fun, because you can just improv, do whatever you want, even if you weren't in the scene though. I rode my bike with a broom in the CM, and also you can see Hayden, Brett and Alex outside the window mounting each other. Just look for some small stuff and you'll see it.
This set is in every movie pretty much. There's some woods in the back we use sometimes. Sometimes we went to my mom's house, rarely, and then the high school, and those are all within 2 minutes driving time.
There are no girls at any time in this process, and then After that, we all huddle around Asher's computer for hours on end, just watching him click a few buttons, and
you'll get, say, hopefully about a 3 to 5 minute movie that may work at some level or may just be a total disaster.
you have every great Blashko movie ever made, and it's a good process.
And that's usually how the process works, and I think that's an interesting and, if I may say, fairly innovative way to do things. It gets you this really radical stuff.
And the creative process really is, there is no creative process.
But yeah, Blashko was kind of a fun time, you know? And it was really random how it started. It was like a small group of friends, but then it just kind of grew and grew, you know?
So what Blashko means to me is, I remember first time I came over to Asher's house and I watched you guys film a movie, and it was some like gangster and you all got trapped in the house and there was like a scary movie or something. I don't really remember. Do you guys remember?
It was Open House.
Open House, that's right.
This house contains many secrets.
Yeah, that was the birth of Blashko. Open House.
Guys, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't want us to leave.
It doesn't want them to leave.
It was, I don't know, that was a fun movie. That was my first movie, and after that I came back. I don't know why, but it was just fun seeing like all these groups of kids just making movies and being loud, and Asher telling them all to shut up on the set.
I'm filming.
Yeah, well, I don't know, my first movie, I think it was Open House.
Guys, have you noticed? Killer's killing us one person at a time.
I don't know, it must have been something with like Asher's hormones or something. Something brought me back to this house. I don't know.
I got to actually do a part. I got to play a racist police officer.
Where'd you get that jacket, black boy?
And then after that, I mean, I guess you could say I was hooked. I couldn't stop.
I was in the very end of Open House. JP wanted to rub my wiener. It's a little bit gay. That's kind of how Blashko goes. It's a little bit homosexual all the time.
So my first film, A Random Suspect.
Stop there. Just answer me one question. Why are you running from things you're not even sure you're running from?
I didn't know I was going to be a part of it, in fact. I just show up. Asher was like, Mike, you got to play some guy named Officer Malone from a previous movie that they used from Open House. To me, I thought it was just a sellout.
Stop running from Malone. Look at yourself. You don't even have a dog. But I, on the other hand, I do have a dog.
I remember another time when we did a film and I was in it for some kid's school project or something, and I had to be his girlfriend that always fell asleep. And I got murdered. That was great.
Probably my other favorite would be A Random Suspect with the Usual Suspects ending.
Tell me everything and start from the beginning.
I wasn't talking to you.
We just killed your partner.
His name was Gibson.
You were chasing us.
I remember.
So who was the lawyer who finally caught
His
you?
name
Was Gibson.
Yeah. The CM
We've been on the run, driving in the
was
sun,
good.
looking out for number one.
Colorado.
Here we come, right back where we started from.
It's about the time we started Blashko. My sister had been really into this terrible show on Fox, The OC. So we made a very clever, very mature parody of The OC.
I joined Blashko because of Asher. from Mrs. Cole's art class.
Hey, Mrs. Cole, can we go watch the tennis match?
No.
What? But they have a plan. James, we gotta go to the tennis. Okay, you take that route, I'll take this route. Take the right flank, red falcon.
And I came over one day and they're filming something. CM. No, it wasn't the CM. Oh my god. What?
You touched my crotch.
I went to college for 2 weeks, and when I came home for Labor Day, they were filming The CM, and I was officially in that movie, and that's when I joined forever.
Yeah, man, this punk bitch Gavin, man, like, I was walking with my girl, yo, and then, like, he just out of nowhere just pushed me against this wall, and I was like, no way, oh my god!
You didn't touch his crotch, did you?
Oh yeah, season 2 began in Christmas of 2005 with The Magician's Nephew.
I really don't think that matters. All that matters now is you, me, and my fists. I think it does matter. Because now, you will die, and I will look at your body and laugh.
Matrix Retarded is just one of the best movies ever made.
You're not the one! You're the rooster! You're the rooster!
Matrix Retarded is better than Matrix Revolutions, like, and we didn't even have a budget.
Explosions, that was the best movie of all.
Hey, and I have a question for you. Have you ever tried blowing up?
I was driving home with Mikey, and Mikey just like, you know what? Let's make a movie about us blowing up.
You gotta arch your back, stand straight up, and do it like this.
And there we have a classic.
Is this the power button?
No, it's a bomb!
What? No plot, no substance, no character development, but it's classic.
So how many casualties are there? We're dropping by the millions.
Season 2 is considered to be our greatest season ever. It has classics like Lost and Lost 2.
These must be the stragglers I forgot to save.
CM was in there, I think. Maybe it was just CM2. I don't even remember what movies I was in.
Splash me!
Okay, okay.
Sunshine, come on, man.
Sunshine, they're gonna do the W on the left.
What move should I do? Treadmill swan. Treadmill swan.
Don't fall for the bait. Don't fall for that bait. Get in there. Go.
Okay, my favorite one was CM2 because the date's off.
Did a little dancing with Alex Warren and Matana and Jordan. I think it was Jordan who was on my team. I can't remember. But yeah, it's fantastic.
What's the other good one from season 2? Just keep going.
Lost 2.
No, I said it.
Sword.
And
A door. The door. It's locked. There's no way out.
Alright, so season 3. That's when Blashco started going from here down.
So if season 2 was the Helen of Troy of Blashco, then season 3 was the Plague.
We had Welsh Man BC.
So this is the painting that he hid behind.
The man! The man beast!
I don't know what that was.
The second movie we made was 24, and then we made one that we didn't even release.
Because this movie's horrible, and I have to end it now.
Hit a pretty monumental dry spell with the beginning of season 3.
And then I stayed Blashco for a couple of years until they got to maybe season 3 with things like X4.
Oh! Everyone thought that Blashco was over.
We had no ideas. We were out, and people, the demand was so high for brilliance because everyone watched Blashco so much that they wanted perfection, baby.
My name is Sean Hurst. Pay close attention to what I say because I choose my words carefully and I never repeat myself. Within the last few months, you may have noticed the crude makeover of blashco.com into the Plaid Dragon Alliance. You have probably been told that this is just fooling around, but in reality, this is just a facade for a hostile takeover of the facility and execution of several of its members. The last survivors of Blashco are working to uproot this new tyranny. The leaders of this vigilante group, the Plaid Dragon Alliance, are mysterious and extremely dangerous. They are known only as Wales and Scott.
The film that was going to save us, we decided to entitle Blashco Resurrection, and it did just that.
Let me see that. I'm afraid you're on the wrong channel. We're looking for Blashco.
Never say those words again. Blashco is dead.
It resurrected us. It brought us back from the grave. It was probably, at the time, it was the best movie we've ever made.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some real movies to make. Ones that don't depend on illogical narratives, inside jokes, random clips from other movies, and subliminal images every 6 seconds. Viva la Dragon.
Half of it was scripted, the other half was improv.
Really, Asher? Bam! Really? Really?
And the scripted part actually gave us a new sort of humor where it was like structured and it was like editing techniques. And then the second part was just the good old Blashco stuff of stupid costumes, stupid sounds, and just kids being hilarious.
A baby? Aww. Ma'am, this isn't a safe place. You've got to get your child out of here. Come on. Come on.
Oh my God!
I moved to Las Vegas, but I was still supportive on the website. And when I came back, Blashco immediately accepted me into their movies, where my career began.
We knew you were affiliated with drug lords, underage sex schemes, and worst of all, fetish parties.
Now, plot twisty, we really just wanted to see how many plot twists we could throw in there, and started out like a movie.
No, I'm a spy.
Yeah, right. Your clock's just run out of batteries.
And it became to where everything was just a plot twist, and there was actually no plot left to twist.
You're working with them too?
Yes, I am. With you out of the way, global warming will ensue and melt the polar ice caps to the north, drowning all the polar bears in the world. And those who don't drown in the first place will soon die of hypothermia from the extreme cold water. And then, with the extermination of the polar bear race, the oceans will boil, boiling all the lobsters in the world, and Red Lobster will reign to the top, dominating the capitalist society we live in. And I work at Red Lobster. I'm a busboy there, and I need a raise.
Poseidon.
Poseidon? Don't even get me started with Poseidon, people. Okay, the real movie, it was like someone shitted and shoved it back up the ass, baby. And then after that movie, I realized I gotta make a Poseidon myself and make it tight. We just took the movie clips from the preview and added it into our own motif of brilliance.
Listen, there has to be some kind of switch around here. There it is.
Actually, that was one of the best endings of any Blashco movie, in my opinion.
The tsunami alarm, the lockdown, it was all me. It was all planned from the start. I had to get what I wanted, and now it's gonna be completed.
Alright, well, season 4 took place at the beginning of senior year. We were enrolled in a few classes, one being AM and CM, which was the announcements.
Well, Blashco, they were on the announcements for a while, and that's when they were good. They kind of made it. I think probably their best one was James Bond.
Your file shows no kills. But to become a 00, it takes 2. How did he die? Your contact? Not well. You needn't worry. The second is... Yes. Considerably.
The man was Le Chiffre, private banker to the world's terrorists.
And the other one was just an intro to video class. We actually took it as an excuse to try some serious movies.
I think my most well-known series, along with Mikey Forrest, was the Kasimoto series.
It's a nice day out.
Truly.
But you know what I know what happens in 10 minutes. How do I know that you know that I know that you know what happens in 10 minutes? I saw it in a vision.
And if I remember correctly, it was a cool spring morning. We were walking through a valley down like near where we live. It's this nice little valley. It's got all these pretty flowers and everything. And then suddenly it got filled with toxic gas. So we decided to embody that the death of nature and of, well, basically animals and shit. We had to embody that in a film. That's why we made the Kasimoto series. If you look at the underlying motifs, the symbolism, it's all about a valley with flowers.
Ugh. Hey, who are you? This place is filled with toxic gas. How do we escape it?
After the first Kasimoto, we felt we established the symbols, the motifs, everything quite well. So we decided to just make a comedy, like a lighthearted family film.
Dear Jordans, we must find some jobs. That's what people do, and that's what we must do too.
So you say you're trying to find a job.
The kind of thing that makes you want to wake up in the morning, you know?
What was the first one we made?
Last Rose.
Last Rose of September was the first one.
The Last Rose of September, which I actually liked a lot. I thought it was really cool. Had a lot of really good shots in it. I remember distinctly, like, I really liked the way that that film was shot.
Then we did Brant Feather, which was probably our best one for that year.
So, cherry or blueberry? Cherry.
One movie that I really liked was Mike Forrest's Rise a Soldier.
And then for Mikey's project that year, we did his, what was it? World War I.
There was no stopping them. There's no stopping them. We have no food. We have no clothes. We're barely equipped. God knows where the closest command post is. How do you expect us to get there? Shh.
It actually looked really good until the end.
And then it got shit again at the end because it was cold. Like, let's get this over with.
For my senior year AP English class, Mrs. Boyce assigned us a Hamlet project, and we watched examples in her class, and I kind of realized that with my experience through Blashco, we could really make far better movies than we were watching. So we had costumes, sets, real swords.
Thou prayest,
Not well. We created what is probably the best Hamlet missing voice we'll ever get.
Bleed. And then Hayden, for my Hamlet, we totally branched out, did something completely new.
Oh, come now, Hamlet. Your wanton disposition blankets the castle with world weariness. 'Tis this but not a tragedy? The tragedy of Hamlet? Is this not? If form fits true tragedy, then you shall start off sad as you are now. Next, everyone you love shall die. Finally, you shall die. And not in a glorious way like in Braveheart. No, no, no.
We just took clips from Mel Gibson's Hamlet and removed all the audio and did about 1,000 voiceovers and completely slayed everything that Hamlet was and is.
I know exactly what you mean.
You know, when I first heard of Blashko, I thought that this group of guys was just going to have this slapstick humor of just this ridiculous just stuff that they're doing just for fun, and it's all inside jokes. Then one day I was hanging out with Asher, and we were hanging out at his house, and he showed me a movie called Blashko 6000, and that's what changed me. It was genius.
Guess where I got these bad boys?
We got so much, and people take it for granted, let me tell you. They just download these movies illegally on LimeWire and shit. That ain't cool.
Hey, I'm Spencer, Blake's brother, and I guess I'm supposed to talk about Blashko, and I don't know, I guess there were some pretty funny movies. I got some good laughs out of them.
Okay, well I think Blashko's pretty cool because my brother was there in the beginning, and a lot of the stuff they do is really funny, but a lot of it just kind of...
Yeah, I'll just say no comment, but there's some funny stuff that came out of it. Yeah, another comment just to make, you guys spent like probably like thousands of hours, I don't know, making these videos, and me and my friends spent an hour learning a dance and making a video, and we've already got over 100,000 views on YouTube, so...
So Asher, would you say that you're really proud of Blashko, since, you know, it went pretty far and everything? How do you feel about that? Yeah, I mean, it really is something. I mean, it's really like it's a joke, you know. I mean, we never really spent much time or any money. Absolutely no money was spent on any of the movies, but we created something, and really it was a learning experience, and it's been a long process, but it's definitely. I mean, I'm definitely proud of it, for sure.
Blashko wasn't just kids filming stupid movies on the weekends. It was a revolution. It became a way of life.
I'm forever grateful to the crew of Blashko because they have provided me personally a venue for making videos, and I mean, I didn't know beforehand that so many of these cool guys were into this kind of stuff. If I had known that, that would have made it's so much easier for me to go ahead with things like Lords and Tyrants and stuff.
What I've learned from Blashko is not to be ashamed of yourself.
Blashko is just a place where you can come and be yourself, and no one really cares what you do, and you're acting, like even if it's not funny.
Blashko is a place for me to escape from the troubles of school, all that, just to have some fun with my fellow butt sluts.
I seem to find happiness in material things like beer and women, but really, Blashko is what brought me happiness.
Blashko to me is a brothership of mostly men.
Blashko in a whole simply is a blumpkin.
We've been together through all the years, and we've become good friends, and now it's just a part of us. It's just, it'll never go away until we probably have a kid.
It's just when you make a movie on the weekend with your friends just for fun, just for the sake of making a movie and having a good time, and someone approaches you and says, "Hey man, I really love that movie, that was a great movie you guys made." You're like, "Oh my god." And you realize Blashko is everything.
Blashko means everything to me. It's the best thing that ever happened. It's just Jesus.
I'm really glad that they kind of discovered me, and I'm really grateful for that, and I love them all. So thanks, guys, and we'll still be making stuff in the future, I'm sure. And I look forward to working with everyone.
As much as we were all embarrassed by some of the things we did in Blashco, and as much as we made fun of Asher, I think most of us really enjoyed doing this. And looking back, this is probably one of my most memorable experiences of high school.
You know, we all have our dirty little secrets. Mine's Blashco.
I think at the bottom of everything, Blashco was just a really big mistake. I mean, I've removed all the tags of myself on Facebook. I really wish I could forget about Blashco. Yeah, I really do.
Go ahead. Go ahead anyway.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah! His name's Hayden. Mitsubishi!
Asher in spider form.
Looking like what have we done? Get off me! Come on, baby! Come on, baby!
Let's go.
1,
Yeah!
Care Bears! Casamona will have revenge! Is it?
Now thou not, thou dost beguile the world. Unbless some
Jesus, please!
for where is she so fair?
1, 2, 1, 2. Like a duck.
Care Bear!
Black man, now get away with it, like a fuck your mommy, bitch! Fuck your idiot!
Jimmy!
Do it.
Jimmy, no!
There you go. Yeah.
Jimmy, no!
Let him go, my child. It is his destiny.
I am Neo! I have sufficed.
Who's that in the mirror? It looks like a cameraman.
The butt slut. She gave me a blumpkin once. Shit.
Let him go, my child. It is his destiny.
Blashco is more important than
Go
knowledge.
short and sweet. They went down the street to me. Fall down. Happy ending to the tale, and tomorrow's a sale, so I'd better go home and rest. Here's a kiss and a hug. Sure you don't need a rug? I assure you the price is right. We'll settle down where we tread. Arabian Nights.